Morning, morning, morning. Talk to me. How are you guys?
Doing well. How are
Can you
you?
hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. You can hear me.
We can hear you.
We can
All
hear
right.
you.
What are we feeling on this Monday, July 28th?
Now I can't hear you.
Second half of the summer. It's hot. Mark, are you hearing me, Mark?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Mark, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. I was like, what's going on? All right.
And
All
you're
right.
back again.
So let's jump into it. All right.
Cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me? Please tell me somebody can hear me.
We can hear you.
We can
All
hear
right. Okay. So Fulton County, 1,025 new active listings. And I want to clarify what this means because I may have been misspeaking. So we've been saying it's new active listings coming on the market. Yet the way the MLS pulls this stat is it's new active status properties. So, for instance, if a property went under contract and then the contract fell through and the status was changed back to active, that would be inside that number. A new listing would be inside that number, but it's specific to how many new properties in the last 7 days did the status get changed to active. So, just for clarity, there were 1,025 properties that active was a new status in the last 7 days. We had 136 say yes to the house in Fulton County go under contract. Just looking for perspective, it's still running at healthy numbers right now. So I feel good about that. There's 37 coming soons. And Mark, if you can hear, what what do you think the strategy with coming soon is? Are we utilizing that strategy at a high level?
I think it varies from agent to agent. I mean, some people like to put it out there so that they can build anticipation and build demand so that when they finally go active, there's a lot of showings all at once. Others don't like it because they feel like they lose the freshness and newness of that new on the market active listing. So I think it sort of depends on the agent.
Yeah. I was thinking about this over the weekend. There's a trucker hat company called Gorin Brothers. There used to be a store at Pont City Market. I think it closed down. But it's the farm animal hats that would have the goat and it would say goat, or it would have a bee and it would say queen or whatever. It's a brand of hats. You've seen it, I'm sure. Well, this company drops a new hat every Friday. And if you have the app, you get notified, and it's I think there's some human nature or human behavior around wanting to be first or to get something, get their hands on something before everybody else does. I think that's just a human behavior thing. And I'm wondering if coming soon speaks to that human behavior a little bit. Like if I can get to a listing before everybody else, or if I can see a house before everybody else sees it. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, again, I think there's everyone's so split on this because some people think it's like awesome to have the coming soon so that they can show it and build that demand before they can see it. And others are just kind of like, I don't want anyone to see it until it's ready to be shown. And then I want that rush to get there.
Right. I don't know. Anyway, 250 pending. We've got 166 withdrawn, 62 expired, 241 closed out. What do you think, just perspective on these numbers?
I mean, it feels like things are pretty healthy still.
Yeah, I think so too. One of our conversations is about inventory and what inventory looks like second half of 2025. We've got an article from Housing Wire talking about that. And I think you're seeing the inventory may slow down just a little bit. I don't know. We'll pay attention, right? Let's run over to the cab. The cab's got 779 new active properties. That's down from 908 the week before, 47. It's still somewhat healthy, like middle of the summer activity, right?
Hmm.
73 went under contract in the last 7 days, and there's 21 coming soon. Like I said, I'm just kind of curious about this number this week. 174 are currently pending, with 135 that closed out in the last 7 days. Now, I think this number is artificially low because the middle of the month is this week. I mean, the end of the month is this week. And maybe all the closings that might have naturally happened last week got pushed to this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, typically the week before the last week of the month isn't as busy as the last week of the month. So I think we'll see a lot more closings this week.
Got it. All right. Well, Cobb County, we have 659 active, 85, which is down, right? Like it's down this week, which I don't know if that's a slowdown or an anomaly. We'll pay attention. 27 coming soon, 205 currently pending, which is pretty healthy for this county. We've got 163, which is a little bit off. Like I said, we're waiting to see what end of month looks like, but it'll give us some perspective. 163, if looking over, there was the second to last week in June was kind of off as well. And then the last 2 weeks of April were pretty strong. So, I mean, May. So, kind of anomaly. We'll take a look. Any last thoughts on the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely entering that slower summer season, it feels like, but that's pretty seasonal. Like, we see that every year.
There you go. All right. Market heat index. It's going to show me US first. Hang on a second. So, the United States, the whole US, Zillow. I was telling a group earlier, like Zillow is uniquely positioned to have insights. So not only do they have the MLS data and what sells and what doesn't sell and all that stuff, but they've got the leading indicators too. Like they can tell how much activity the buyers are looking at, how many clicks, how many searches, how many, all that stuff. And I think it positions them really well to have insights into what they call the heat of the market, right? So the US is currently in a neutral market. If I drill down into Atlanta, Georgia, it shows us as a buyer's market right now. What do you think?
It's hard because if you look at the FMLS stats on Chartmaster, you'll see that the condo market is definitely in a buyer's market right now. But when you lump that into single family and overall market, it skews it towards buyers. So I think it really depends on the market you're in, and it's still super hyper local.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're right, Mark. This is the market as a whole. It's not segmented. And so certain pockets, different hyperlocal type properties, all play a factor. Yet I don't think we're going to stay in a buyer's market. I think we're going to probably, when interest rates come down, move back to a neutral or maybe a soft seller's market. Um, yet it's interesting because if I'm a seller in this market, Mark, I don't know that I believe it's a buyer's market yet.
Mm-mm. No.
I'm fighting that in my own
Yeah.
paradigm, right?
I mean, if you're a condo seller over 3 million, yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market.
Yeah,
So
of course.
again, I think it depends on price point, it depends on product.
Yep. Very interesting just to look at. Now, this data, if you're not aware, we've talked about it before on here, but when you look up a listing, and I just grabbed a listing, 440 is the asking price in 30329. Well, down here in the Zillow listing, it has these offer insights. So Zillow is taking the data and compiling it to say, this is what we suggest it should list for or sell for. Now, I want to take you back a few years when the Zestimate came out. Everybody hated the Zestimate in the real estate space. But did the sellers look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they did. And when you went to a listing presentation, was the Zestimate a conversation at the listing table? Not all,
Yes.
but a lot, right?
Yeah, and if it wasn't, it was indirectly because it affected their perception of price.
Yeah. This is almost a Zestimate on the buyer side. And so now a buyer that's looking to make an offer on this listing potentially is looking at this going, hey, I'm supposed to offer 426 on this 440 property. And what do we do with that information? Well, I think there's different facets to it, Mark. If I'm a listing agent and I'm looking to get a price reduction, this could be information I bring to the table to help me use the data as the bad guy, not me telling them they need to reduce their price.
Right.
On the other side, it's also intel to kind of justify to a buyer that they're maybe offering too low, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I think you could use it in all different sides of the transaction. I don't think it's 100% accurate, hands down. I think that's where our agents, opinions and professionalism really shines, is you're able to give them insights. But I also think it's still, just like this estimate wasn't 100% accurate, it still is data that people pay attention to.
Right.
I mean, look here, it's saying the estimate on this is 432.
Right.
Listed at 440. Estimate's saying 432, and they're saying offer 426-ish. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just information to equip you in the industry, right?
Yeah, I think as a listing agent, you just need to be aware that this is out there and what buyers are looking at so that you can prep your sellers.
There you go. All right, moving on. You probably changed your MLS password in the last 7 days.
Absolutely.
And there was a breach, and apparently it was overseas. Some people got access into the MLSs. And if you think about how much data is in the MLS, there's a lot of data in the MLS, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there's something inside the article that I think is pretty cool. So we're a Matrix product, and Matrix was one of the MLS companies that required everybody to change their password. But there's this statement here that says the compromised access hit multiple listing service software providers, Flex, MLS, and Matrix, the latter of which is created and managed by Cotality, the company formerly known as CoreLogic. What you're probably not aware of is Cotality is a sister company to Keller Williams. What does that mean? It's owned by Stone Point, the company that now owns a percentage of Keller Williams. And I know direct from Gary Keller's mouth to my ear that he's been meeting with them, looking how we can create a symbiotic relationship around data. And if Matrix is owned by Cotality, I think that could, in the future, give us a unique competitive advantage with data, just like Zillow has, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of cool. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're going to start seeing more and more of the ways that partnership is going to start adding value to what we do at Keller Williams.
For sure, for sure. All right, this article, conferences are gold mines if you know how to film them. So I think it's 2 weeks, Mark, we go to San Antonio for Mega Agent Camp.
Right.
I think that conference is amazing. Now, whether you go to an Inman conference or a local conference or NAR, this article applies to any of that. And it talks about, look, when you go to these conferences, it's an incredible opportunity for you to film video content. And personal branding is hard of real estate. Obviously, you want to be the star of the show in filming the conference. So instead of taking a picture of the room with all these people in it, maybe you're recording a video of you talking on your phone with all the people in the background. But the other part of this is conference content is evergreen. So, meaning if you film a lot of content at conferences, it becomes stock photo for you that you can repurpose for months or even years. It's just really good opportunity to film content for your future reels, your website, your newsletters, things like that. And we've talked about this before, Mark, but your iPhone is all the equipment you really need, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're an Android user, I'm sorry, but the iPhone is the golden standard. We'll leave it there. The other part of this is, go ahead, like my comments up. I'm sure everybody's got the every agent has a tech stack, Mark. So we use all these different technology tools to provide a value proposition to our agents.
Right.
9 out of 10 of those technology tools you use are usually in the vendor hole.
Mm-hmm.
You could interview one of the vendors around the power of that technology piece as content that you would then in turn repurpose to your social media, saying, hey, I use this technology tool for my sellers, and this is the value of that. Not in your words, but in their words, in
Right.
an interview style. This article is timely to me, and I just wanted to get it in front of everybody because we're about to head to Mega Agent Camp. But and then it talks about just tagging your vendors and how that it expands your reach, right? What do you think of this? We're kind of in this video age, and I never really thought to think, oh, conferences are part of a strategy, right?
Yeah, I actually appreciated this sort of reminder because it's not top of mind for me when I go to these things to be filming anything. And it made me realize like I need to be, looking for opportunities to film while I'm there because it is really great content.
Yep. All right. Well, hang on. Rick got left out. Hold on. I got to add him. Did I invite him to the stage?
He had to hop off.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Rick got put in the audience here. All right. Why is collaboration and cooperation the future of real estate? This is an interesting article, and I believe this. When we rolled out the Inspire Network, we talked about collaboration over competition as a big part of our DNA, our value proposition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about informal alliances, the Uber of real estate showing. And what they're saying is, like, when you're networked inside of our offices, you're building relationships inside of our offices. When I first started out in real estate, Mark, I was a solo agent, right? Like I didn't have a team. It was me.
Right.
And if I went to a conference or I went on vacation or I just got double booked, the collaboration of having a network of agents that are trusted partners of yours is a big deal. And, I would have somebody show a client for me when I couldn't show them. I would return the favor and show a client for them when they couldn't show them. And I just had this network of trusted relationships inside my office that I think is maybe a little bit of a lost art. I don't know, right? Like these showing partners, even if it's newer agents, just being in relationship with the people inside of our offices is a big part of that collaboration that I think actually it's value proposition to you, right?
For sure. Especially now when it's harder to price properties. So having a different perspective or multiple different perspectives on pricing can really help you when you're launching a new listing. Like leaning into community is really a smart thing to do right now.
Oh,
And
100%.
and it's a lonely
Obviously,
business. Like being a solo agent's lonely. So, leaning into the agents in your office really makes a difference.
I mean, teams aren't for everybody. I agree with that. And teams certainly bring that structured collaboration to the table, right? That's one of the benefits of teams. But
Hmm.
Mark, you're right. This price it right approach, we had a listing, I guess it was over a year ago, and it was a $2.5 million property ish, and there were no comps. Like there was not really comparable sales to price this thing. And
Hmm.
I remember there were 10 agents invited to a broker open that sell that price range in that area. And basically they were asked, hey, what do you think a buyer would pay for this house? And that collective market analysis actually ended up creating intel to list the house. I think they listed it for 2.25 and it sold for 2.25 in a weekend.
Hmm.
That's that collaboration. We don't do enough of this.
Right. Well, and I will say that I think it's important to also have those relationships outside of your office with your co-op agents that you work with, your peers, so that you can tap into them as well. Because sometimes the people who have the best knowledge of a certain neighborhood or market are not inside of our office, it's someone else. So it's having the ability to reach across brokerage lines and saying, hey, would you come check this out and give me your feedback? I think is powerful.
Perfect. All right. We talked about inventory, and I want to position this. And then, Mark, you've been in the industry a long time as well. So, housing inventory, which is a big word for us in stats,
Hmm.
is starting to stall. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means the seasonal decline in new listings is underway.
Right.
If you look at this chart, and I'll use this chart to, kind of set the conversation up here. This top line, 2019, is a normal year in real estate where
Right.
inventory is the highest in the summer and it tapers off towards the end of the year. I would almost tell you to forget these other lines because they were not normal years of real estate. But the red line is 2025. And what they're saying is we're anticipating this red line to follow the same curve as the blue line above it. And you're going to see inventory get less and less as the year, kind of moves towards the end of the year.
Right.
Is that a good or a bad thing, Mark?
I mean, I don't think it's good or bad. It's the way it's been. It's the way it usually is. And I think if inventory continued to grow and not be checked, it would force prices down. So I think it's a good thing for pricing that it's not gonna force prices to dip. But it's a for buyers, it just means limited choice again during the second half of the year. But
Yeah.
that's the way it always is.
And on the flip side of that, if you're talking to a seller that's saying, hey, should I list my house now or should I wait until next year? I think you could confidently tell them there's going to be less competition the second half of this year than there will be early next year.
Yeah.
And that's probably a benefit to a seller.
Yeah. I think the key is like looking at that hyper local price point and neighborhood and making sure that there are buyers in that price point and neighborhood when you're going to list that property.
100%. I don't
But I
know.
think that it's encouraging to see if you just look at the red lines, the 2023, 2024, 2025, how it's getting back up to normal. So we are definitely in a normalizing market, and we're still not back to normal yet.
Yeah. Look at 2024. Inventory peaked in October.
Hmm.
And then it came down, obviously, in the fourth quarter. We believe inventory's peaked right now and is going to start to climb back down.
Hmm.
I think it'll take till September, October. If you look here, it peaked like June, and it took until September before it started the seasonal decline. I think it's going to hold till about that same time frame, and then fourth quarter, the inventory is going to come down. And to a serious seller, that should be a benefit.
Hmm. For sure.
And I also think, Mark, I'm going to go on record. I think that interest rate's going to come down in that time period too, which should increase demand.
Fingers crossed.
Which, back to the heat map, is why I'm saying it's going to move us back out of this buyer's market.
Right.
All right. Metro Atlanta home prices witnessed milestone decline last month. I
love
know.
these headlines.
Milestone 3%, really?
Right.
I don't know that I would go on record and say prices are declining. I think that's a hyper local conversation, yet it's certainly softened. And when you see this, that says prices are coming down. When you see inventory at a high and demand's not matching it, that means prices would come down. Yet I don't know that prices are specifically coming down.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit confusing for the consumer, which is why it's important that we understand this stuff. The median home price is coming down in Metro Atlanta overall. So again, to your point, some neighborhoods are up, some neighborhoods are down, and varies depending on the price point. So you really have to be an expert, but it's important that you can explain this to people and say, just because the median home price, the homes that are selling right now are slightly lower than the homes that were selling last year, doesn't mean that a home that sold last year has seen a decrease in value. They're two different things.
So this statement is a little bit of a facade, and I'll show you what I mean. It says Homes.com attributes this decline to the influx of new inventory that flooded the local market, with active listings rising by roughly 40% in the last 12 months. If I go back to this chart, inventory is still less than what it was in 2019.
Right.
But yes, it's higher than previous years. So it's not like we have this stupid amount of inventory. What we don't have is the buyer demand that's matching it.
Yeah. I mean, if you just read headlines, you think that inventory is shrinking, but then it's growing. And then prices are shrinking and then they're growing. It really depends on the perspective you're taking and what number you're looking at. And I think that's why we really have to be the experts to kind of clarify this for our clients, because all they see is headlines. They don't understand this stuff.
Yeah. So then you read the national headline. This was on Fox Business. It says home prices reach record high in June. So this is national. This is local.
Right.
You got real estate is hyper local, right? And the real estate housing market continues to shift to buyers. We understand that. I think we've shown you enough charts, but you can read through all these articles. There is an article we'll post. I'm not going to go through it, but it's the complete guide to working with athletes and celebrities. And there's, I think, 5 different articles in here that kind of goes into, if you have a high profile client, what is that guide? I would encourage everybody to read these articles, because you never know when you're going to get that client. Yet there is certain strategy to working with high profile clients. We're going to drop in the chat our social media reels strategies.
They're on the page itself already.
They're on the page. Okay.
Yeah.
But Matt Pitts, you can share your screen and show them and tell us what we need to know. This is kind of your new thing. So
yeah, Corey, you don't mind.
Apparently you're the real expert.
I don't know if I call it that, but Corey's going to share the actual reels. But in conjunction with the conversation around collaboration versus going solo, Brett, 2 of the reels we showed. Are we having technical difficulties, Corey?
No.
Oh, is it up? I can't see it.
No, it's not. I'll get it up. Go ahead.
Okay. So 2 of the reels that we are showing are based around collaboration over competition. And I've gone in and given you a hook, a summary, and then a database message of each. And there's 3 different reels. 2 of them are around collaboration. 1 of them are around inventory. And if you guys didn't know, you probably know by now, you're part of a group in KW Inspire of over 2,000 plus agents, right, Brett? So highlighting that, collaboration around that. And there's 3 and 2 of them are around that and 1 are around industry update. So get out there, use this, hashtag us, KW Inspire, and get the message out of all these articles we went over today.
All right. I'm going to go in jeopardy of acting like I know what I'm talking about. When you post an Instagram reel, you can tag people, but you can also make them collaborators. And when you make them a collaborator, it actually posts it as if they were the originator as well. So if you were to make, so you could post a reel and tag Inspire Network, and we would be able to share it on our story, which we would happily do if it's good. And or you could make us a collaborator and leverage the influence of our network to get your view count up, to get your response up, and it benefits you in your I don't know, Matt, jump in. This is your thing.
No, man, you're crushing that. No,
All
it's just an ability to get more views, more faces, and your name out in a further reach, which is the whole goal here, right? Is a better impact on your business. So are we selfish and we like that you tag KW Inspire? 110%. Does it get you more views and more reach? 110%. So go out there, take action. I think we're a minute over, but I think that's what you were trying to say, Brett.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining.
Brett, what do we have going on Wednesday?
Oh, yeah. Wait, go ahead, Corey.
Wednesday, we have our quarterly State of the Real Estate Industry. I'm going to drop the link in the page here as well. We've still got a few seats left in Midtown. It's our biggest event of the quarter, so please come join us. You'll get tons of, this sort of thing, big stats, big industry trends. Matt Pitts is co-hosting with Brett. It's going to be awesome.
And I would tell you, if you participate in Profit Share, this is probably one of the greatest, easiest events to invite a guest to. Talk to your team leader. I would invite a peer from a different company that you wanted to offer value to. This is a great event for that. So it does sell out usually, so don't wait. Get your ticket. We're done. Bye.
I guess.
Bye.